was a good practice. We are trying to be better in the throwing and catching department. We're not there yet, but we're working at it, and I expect us to be better by Saturday night. Certainly that's a key for us to be the kind of football team we need to be. So we'll keep working towards that, but aside from that, I thought it was really good today, and excited about conference opener.
What did you learn from last week's game?
Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Guys got all kinds of experience. I think in one case, Justin Edison had more plays in that game than he had the entire season. So that's just an example of what guys learn. And in going on the road and playing in that environment when you have to be in silent count the whole day, that's a great experience. It would have been better had we won the game, but it will pay dividends down the road in that we know we can operate in that environment and be successful. We were within an eyelash of tying the game late, and it just wasn't to be on that particular day, but hopefully great things are in store.
How's Kevin feeling, Coach?
Kevin's feeling fine, just sore, so we're kind of have him on a pitch count, but I think that he'll be ready to roll.
You said last week that you weren't worried about his health as much as maybe the timing and everything. So how did that come out for you, and then into this week as well?
We were rusty. There's no question. The throwing game was not where it needed to be. Certainly we can catch the ball better, but the ball doesn't need to be a hard catch all the time. It can be on the money. The ball that Taylor had down on the goal line was an easy throw and catch, and we made it hard, and consequently didn't have the completion, which would have been an easy touchdown. But we can get better, and we will get better, and I know Kevin is excited about that, as are we.
Last week you were talking about it being a game-time decision. Is certain Kevin starting?
Yeah, I think so, unless something happens that we're not aware of, but right now he's getting ready to play the game, and then I'm looking forward to it.
He played today?
Yeah, he played today. Yeah.
Could he play today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So his passing, they weren't the greatest passes, but a lot of catches were catchable. I mean, passes were catchable.
Yeah, but there needs to be more precision. We in the scrimmage not so long ago, we were sharp throwing the ball, and it's when you put a quarterback that in the game that hasn't played a lot, we got to get back up to that sharpness. There's no question about it.
Do you feel like your secondary is ready for the test that they're going to face against Andrew Luck this week?
Well, they've got a double-edged sword. They've got to fit into the run, because this is a come at you running game. It requires all hands on deck, and then they've got to be able to handle that plus play action passes. Luck is a very accomplished player, and he's very accomplished throwing the ball deep down the field. And last year, 2 huge plays in the game were a play action pass where they got posts against our corner and just made plays. Both resulted in balls inside the 5-yard line or inside the 10-yard line, which resulted in touchdowns. So those are big plays that we've got to try to avoid.
You said last week that you were kind of hesitant to throw your younger players, your true freshmen, into the game on the road in a hostile environment like that. This week, do you think maybe more of a Dietrich Riley?
Well, we're hoping. You got to be careful in saying yes, because if circumstances play out that doesn't get it done, you don't want those kids to not lose faith in you or don't trust you. But we're certainly hopeful we have the opportunity to get a lot of our young guys into the ball game.
Coach, how much is
it? Kevin, on a pitch count, how do you go about determining what part of the practice he's going to use those pitches with? Because he didn't do much with the 2-minute drill again today.
Well, he knows the 2-minute drill. I mean, Richard getting those chances is, catching him up to Kevin. Kevin was not rusty in the 2-minute drill last week. I thought he looked pretty sharp. The first half we threw a pick, but the second half, the 2 plays, he went right down the field. So, it's just a call that we're trying to get both quarterbacks ready, and Kevin can use the rest.
How much does a revenge factor come into play this week, considering what happened last year? And
you play conference teams every year. Revenge is not a deal. I mean, obviously that since I've been back at UCLA, we're 1-1 against Stanford. This is a big game because it's the first game of the conference, and it's a big game because they're a great opponent, and it's a big game because it's at the Rose Bowl. We don't need revenge as a factor.
Are you worried at all about opening conference this early in the season?
It's not ideal. You'd like to get your team more practice and more ready for the games that are really going to count against you. And you'd also like to have more film on them. They didn't exactly have to do much last week, and that's no slight to their opponent. It's just they didn't show you much. So they're a little bit of a mystery, which is a little uncomfortable as a coach. But it is what it is. We'll be ready.
So how much older are your young guys this week after last week?
Well, the guys that got in all those plays, they're much older. The other guys are ready and willing and certainly hopeful for their opportunity.
Your kickers are kind of a walking wounded over there. Are they going to be okay?
Well, they didn't kick at all last week, and we ended up being 3 for 3 and had great punting averages. So I'm assuming that they're telling us the truth and that they need their rest, and we'll be ready to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Nice mash unit.